The activism community is part of the conspiracy.
I've got no problem.
There are planes which fly from. I think one of the theories there's few planes which.
Well, they would Pettit call the low Earth orbit, and they're on balloons
from Africa to South America, and they don't have to travel.
All of the people that are involved in the launching of satellites and are involved in those industries, are they all part of a conspiracy for some reason?
No,
they don't actually. They think they are launching.
Have you come across this theory that things
which is why you
theory
have
that everything is easily compartmentalized and secrecy is because it's mostly military. Secrecy is top of the line. People watch too much. You've been watching too much foreign supremacy, my brother. The fact is that they can keep secrets, and the people who are launching these balloons, they don't have to tell us what they're doing, and they don't. The people who are launching the balloons, well, that'll be NASA, I guess.
And if this is the case, right? But every major power on the planet has
the planet. What planet?
You saying?
Sorry? What planet? It's a plane, my brother. They added the T to confuse you.
I mean, let's say name for where we live. On this object that we live. Yeah. So you're saying that every single major power all across this thing are all conspiring to do that. Yeah. You need to seek help. Honestly.
Well, you've got to realise
when you start
the government are in the same. They're in the same club.
When you start to think that your ideas must be right and that everyone else that disagrees with your ideas are part of a conspiracy, that is a sure sign of delusion.
Okay, I raised some scientific experiments with these guys. Let me just say them
10
again.
million people involved in those industries versus you. And you must assume you must be right. That's just delusion.
Perspective was very, very.
And you should seek help.
Have you looked at the science?
We should do a race. One from the tip of Africa to the tip of South America in the boat, and one from the tip.
Here's a scientist. Here's a scientist.
In the northern hemisphere.
All right, let me tell you about Wilkinson and Moor, right? In the late 1800s and early 1900s, over a span of 3 decades, these scientists got together and tried repeatedly to measure, with using an interferometer, to measure the movement of the Earth, right? Right. And because they couldn't find any movement, they decided to shelve these experiments. So the truth is that there is no movement happening. So there's no science experiment that shows that. Which science experiment would you use?
And on the back of that, Einstein created his theory of general relativity.
No point, but the relativity is a theory that seeks to explain what I'm saying isn't there. Well, not I'm saying. There's plenty of people. In fact, George Airy, who was the astronomer royal, he came out in the late 1800s with a fantastic experiment that was going to prove once and for all that it was either the Earth or the stars that were moving. They went on to call this experiment Airy's failure. Because they are. Because you're no longer trusting your own perception. Your perception also tells you that water is flat. Your perception also tells you that the air is not moving at 1,000 miles an hour, or that there are those sorts of dynamics happening to your body. That each day you are being swung at 32 degrees or 28 degrees around in a ball like that. Nothing in your senses tells you that. But once you go to school at 4 and 5 years old, or once you start watching Disney with their spinning balls, you start to believe in this nonsense that you are a monkey spinning on a ball. That's not true. You are created divine. Space station, my friend, that can be. Have you watched the movie Gravity? Did you see the movie Gravity?
Right, I'm going to ask you a question.
They can fake.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Go back to him. Go back to him.
You say can they? So there is no space station. Okay.
Can I answer one question? Right. If you look at an aeroplane from 38,000 feet, yeah, it's like a dot, right? Now you think the ISS, twice the size of 2 jumbo jets, right, at 250 miles, and you can see it as a white light in the sky, can you not? So it's on the night side of the globe, and it's that far off the globe on the dark side, secured by the ball. So how can you see that white light when it's on the dark side of a globe? It's impossible. If I've got a mosquito on my back, yes, can you see it through my chest? No, you cannot.
Anyone from the space station pictures.
No.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
What I said to you, the world record photograph is of, listen to me, the world record photograph that could only be achieved with the sun setting behind it at 400 kilometers, which is the same distance as the ISS. You can only see it because it's an entire island. You think that you can see a football-sized
you really think there's a Tesla floating in outer space? That is just to promote the actual car is selling. The business is going downhill, and that's a great way to promote it.
There's no
What were we quoted in saying? It looks so fake. He actually been quoted in saying
no, I'm not
it actually looks so fake, it's so real.
Might be that you have an explanation how
That's what the t-shirt says.
So the Foucault pendulum is simply, okay, you have a pendulum, you just let it swing.
That's right, but it has to be started a few times.
There should be a law against spreading lies like this.
So it's like you're creating
Maybe
a perpetual
the
motion
globe's
machine,
a lie.
and that you give it a push and say, oh look, an hour later it's still moving.
You've been round the globe.
And it's not true.
No, it's about the same thing.
So if there was a camera fixed on the moon, would I be able to see planes flying upside down in Australia?
I'm not lunar.
Or spinning around the side, you know? Do you remember when your teacher took a bucket and said, this is what proves gravity?
That's centrifugal
What's
force.
the outside of the bucket? There is no outside. And how do you have a vacuum sitting alongside
This
a
is worse
non-vacuum?
than Trump.
We've got a vacuum, a non-vacuum here. We live in this atmosphere, and apparently there's no hard shell between
That's
theory of life.
explains things.
Of course,
You know what
but
theory means, right?
Look,
It's
what
a
they've
bunch of scientific...
Okay, stop and go back this way. What if I said, right, fuck me, I'm going to try and convince everybody that the Earth is a ball. What I need is the smartest minds to come and work out how this could be possible. How do we explain solar eclipses? How do we explain lunar eclipses? How do we explain comets? And what they've done is they've come up with a bunch of theories. And when they say, oh well, because an apple which was lifted by a tree and then its weight was greater than its bond and then it fell through the air and landed on Newton's head, he said, now that proves a thing called gravity. I'm going to use this gravity to make up a whole lot of theories about how everything else in the so-called universe ties together. Have you ever seen one?
That's kind of what it does, yeah.
So it's all theory. It's all theory because an apple falls. An apple falls, as they used to say, because of the density, that it was greater than the air. But if it hits the water, it stops and floats because it is less dense than the water. If it was a stone, it would keep going, and if it was a helium apple, it would rise up. Gravity has no effect on these things.
Well, the thing with gravity, the reason why dense things go down is actually because of gravity. It's a mass. Yeah.
I know. You know how we prove gravity? Do you know how we prove it? By a 300-year-old experiment where a guy put 2 large balls in a shed.
The Cavendish
experiment. And he said, from a distance with my telescope, I could see these balls move ever so slightly. So 300 years ago, we did this experiment. Bollocks.
I think we forgot to mention static.
Bollocks. Well, yeah, and the thing is,
using copper balls,
an electromagnetic force, but we're not measuring gravity. And if you were going to let the scientists today say, I've got a computer machine that was given to me by the Israelis or given to me by whoever, and it sends out a thing, and something comes back, and then a printout says, I've seen a gravitational wave. Bullshit! It's just a machine telling you that. Start trusting your own senses. Your own senses tell you you're not moving. Your own senses tell you that this atmosphere around us is not moving.
Cool.
I'm open to listening.
Can I get my iPad? Stay here.
Yeah, but if you're using Pythagoras theorem to debunk as well. They've got their own Earth calculator. Yeah? And I've got a friend in America called Jennifer.
I'll show you pictures of flat Earth, so whatever subject you want to look on,
Okay.
I can just sort of go to it. It's easy like this, so we'll go through it. Basically, there's a curvature situation.
Yeah, there we are.
So that's like, that's something you can actually, sort of like, and if you sort of like, you know, if you stand in a Blackpool and looked out to Snares, there's meant to be like a curvature drop, but there isn't. There's like 2,584 feet should be hidden. But it's not. There's no curvature.
Okay.
And we got a bit of a problem with that.
Middle Earth.
Oh, so because of this is what is why you're questioning the situation.
There's so many things.
Yes, it's a free park on filming. If you don't want to be in camera, just move away, please.
Because it's
It's a high selfie.
There's all bets about whether it's flat Earth or round Earth, and they've done something called 100 proofs. Now this geezer in 2014 done something called 200 proofs, and it's definitely flat. It's not only.
Have you got a question?
No, we're not moving, are we?
You're going to believe it.
If you look at this, right?
Good investigating.
It's no national land. Look at that. So that's a 4 miles down. You know one of them. That would be 60. That would be 1,000 miles. That's what they reckon the Earth's turning. Are we turning 1,000 miles an hour?
Oh, they're saying it's in the speed at which it turns.
Yeah, 1,000.
Is that very crazy?
1,038 miles an hour at the equator.
They're saying that that's the speed.
But nearly zero at the poles. That makes sense.
That is so balmy. But another thing is, so we're stationed. We're definitely, there's no doubt about it. So whatever shape it is on the flat, we're stationed. That's a bit, and what it is as well, you need this t-shirt here.
Gravity, the ability force that holds all their lives together.
Look, so like, that's cool. What it is, it's just buoyancy in weight. So if I put my weight up, it's lighter than the air, so it falls to the ground. A feather would float in the air. And that's all it is. And they try and compensate for like gravity and that would hold like spinning balls. How can spinning balls
Bring that ship right back into you, or if you take
And it will still disappear.
the whole thing is flawed. And if you look at the massive edge, there's no, it's all fake. Do you reckon the massive
horizon.
I mean, I'm very open.
Eventually, everything joins.
I'm interested in your argument. I'm interested in what
So what we do is kind of like sort of like science you can do yourself. So you know, like say like. Say if you looked at that like that, and the moon, say the sun, where's the sun at the moment? So the sun is, should be around about there, it's considered. But the other day, when we came to Thor, and the sun was right there, so I could go like that. Don't that look like this? You know, and unfortunately, the moon was behind us as well. This way and this way. Yes. And it's so right. Don't you think that's right? We're looking up at the sun.
So basically what you're saying is the Earth is like this.
Yeah.
So you don't believe in the galaxy, you don't believe
No.
in
There's
just
no
the
space.
Earth.
Forget space.
So it's just the
It's
Earth.
just, no, what it is, so that's the North Pole is the centre of the fracture, right?
Okay.
So that's the centre, and that's Antarctica on the outer ring, so that's Antarctica on the edge.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Can I keep one of these?
Yes, exactly, so yeah. And I'll just quickly show you like an example. You know, they see that edge here. How high do you reckon that edge is to keep an ocean? If you can
I can see the picture you're building.
that high up, it only seems to have a couple degrees, which is, and your eyes cannot
Perceive them?
This Dave, he actually studies on how to frame a it only seems to have, so basically it's just like, you don't have a frame of reference.
Okay, do you know what the world record photograph is? 400 kilometers, right? They caught a photograph of an island 400, this is official, proven, 400 and something kilometers away, right? So they've got the sun setting behind an island 400 kilometers away. That island should be at least 10 miles below the ball water. That's a fact. You can go and check that out. If the water is flat. And now let me tell you this, if your ship is going away from you and going down the ball, tell yourself, is it really going to sail back up the ball to get to you, or is it when it gets to their destination going to be already at the top of the ball again? Because when it arrives, it leaves England, right, and it's at the top of the ball, and it gets to America and it's still at the top of the ball. I'm contesting that flat. The water is flat between here and America because gravity is a religion. Is it unproven? Gravity is a theory.
It's never been proven.
Listen,
It's never been.
what's that? That's density, right?
Density.
But you call that gravity and then say it's going to make water do something that water has never been proven to do.
That's why an alien balloon goes up. It's lighter than air.
Density is not a force. No, I didn't say it's a force. Because, no, wait, well, hold on. Equal and opposite reaction, right? So how did this paper get up? I picked it up. That's why it's going to drop down. That's until it gets to a...
Exert force to pick it up.
Okay, you can call that gravitational energy, but then you can't then prove water is going to hang to the underside of the ball. Because it's all flat. So what do you mean there's no underside? If you're on a ball, and things are going down, where are they going down to?
It's not going down.
You told me that ships were going over the curve.
You said ships was going down.
The only way you know is going down the speed, right?
You said ships are going down. No, you said ships are going down.
I wouldn't take that. See, we are in the Middle Earth, my brother. This is the heart, or the Earth. The heart and Earth are an anagram. We are in an electrical system. This is the middle ground. There is heavens above us and perhaps hells below us. I don't know. This is getting metaphysical, right? But it's all electrical. No, not. Let me tell you, it's not about the Bible.
We know electrical
the Bible
is
and
true.
the Torah.
He said there is no mother.
There is no.
Electrical is true. We know that. Electrical.
You can see certain islands very far away where you shouldn't be able to see them. Well, actually, so first of all, you have to make sure what the height of the observer is.
Yes, I know.
And also, light curves downward over colder surfaces. And since the ocean is colder, it makes the air just above it colder. And since the air below is colder than the air above, which is slightly warmer, the density of the air below is denser.
So you're saying it's a superior mirage? You're saying
Yes.
it's a superior mirage? Well, go and look at the photo and tell yourself that. And you can go and go stand in Spain and go and look at Morocco. You can go and stand on the coast of England on a clear day and look at France. You're looking at the coastline, and you can look at it depending on the clarity of the day from the sea level. So there's obviously the higher you go, the further you can see.
Go to Morocco and Spain because it's on top of the mountain.
It's partially superior.
No, so you're saying it's being raised by 10 miles? Is that what you're contending? There's no time to prove that. What you're regurgitating, Mara, you're obviously very clever, but you're repeating the sort of crap that I used to believe in.
The horizon policy.
Now I'm 50 years old. I went through my entire adulthood at this age thinking that it was true.
Not that it's raised by 10 miles, but the light bends just a couple of degrees. It only needs to bend a couple of degrees.
Well, you're talking about a couple of degrees, and when it suits you, it's only a couple of degrees, but the fact is that's hundreds of kilometers. Hundreds of kilometers. No, you're being, this is the degrees thing is how they used to mess with our minds. This is a ship, right, traveling from UK to America is traveling on a flat plane of water. It would not be going downhill, it would not be coming back up.
I've only got that one. No, I'm going to make a video later.
I say prove to you that gravity, by dropping this, does not make water go
And you know,
flat.
when they leave, before the standing, you know, that I don't know how the word in English depends, but you know,
Does anybody want one?
the moon before the standing.
The graph's on there, the curvature. The graph.
It's not curving. And it can be possible that way.
That's worldwide agreed, that graph.
Well, I'm not absolutely certain about how the flat earth model works. I don't swear by any model, right? So I'm not trying to sell you a model. I'm trying to tell you that the ball is impossible. The ball cannot be scientifically proven to be moving. Yes, we cannot scientifically prove to find water that will cling to the outside of a shape. And if you move that shape, it's certainly not going to cling to the outside of a shape.
You can find on YouTube where in space you can see water pulsating.
Oh man, are you talking about like ISS?
Oh, That's because the gravity is pulling the air.
Well, you're the demonstration in the university.
Wait, hang on, wait. Great. You're just saying that so the gravity is pulling the air.
At the point where it equalizes.
There's an equilibrium, a point of equilibrium. Right, great. Point of equilibrium. Okay? So it's so finely balanced that there's no movement either way, yeah? Right. Because it's so finely balanced, anything that changes that equilibrium will start to affect that, wouldn't it? Anything that changes that equilibrium. Like a rocket leaving the atmosphere. Or when the air heats up, yeah? When the air, hang on. When the air heats up, right, then the air is less affected by gravity, it starts to rise, it will break that equilibrium, right? Right, well, every time the sun rises, heats up one whole side of the earth, the air should start to leave the earth, shouldn't it? I'm sorry, it should. As soon as it heats up, it starts rising and breaking that equilibrium, yeah? Now the vacuum can now take hold of it and off it goes, taking the whole of the air with it. Did you know, I had a debate with some, I had a debate with some physicists, she's on YouTube, yeah? On it in April. They actually had to admit that the atmosphere is leaking, right? It leaks 900 tons of atmosphere every single day.
Yeah, I know, it does.
Yes?
A lot of it's helium.
First of all, they argued that nothing can leave because of this equilibrium, and then they had to backtrack and say, well, yes, it does. Yes, it does leave. Yeah? If it's leaving at 90 tons a day,
yes, that's nothing compared to how big our atmosphere is.
If it's leaving at 90 tons a day for 4.5 billion years, there wouldn't be any atmosphere left, would there?
That's nothing compared to what our atmosphere is.
I'm sorry, hang on.
How much gas is released
90 tons for 90 tons over 4.5 billion years. I think that would cover the amount of gas that's on this earth.
Also, well,
why do you think
90 times 4.5 billion. What would you reckon that is?
People who have spent thousands.
I think that's enough to take all the air, don't you?
Other gas release.
Where from?
Other gases, termites release gas, plants release O2.
I'm sorry, but that's still from a finite system, isn't it?
Well, no, they're drawing in things that aren't gas.
I know, but still from a finite amount of material to make gas.
We still receive things from space.
And gas. Sorry, no. Now you're saying that you're getting gas from space now.
Not necessarily gas, but other materials.
You're getting gas from space. Ooh, that's interesting. Look, you're making stuff up now. If the gas comes in, it's somehow out, isn't it? Well, no, because the vacuum's sucking it out. Yeah, well, now the... All right, now, so the vacuum in space is sucking the gas out. It can't get in.
It might not always.
It's like a valve, isn't it? Only one way out. It's like a foot pump.
Well being around. So you don't think the gas would be sucked out, but you don't think the gas would have been sucked out, or the atmosphere would have been sucked out before?
I'm not an expert on this.
No, but you're claiming you are by trying to ad hoc come up with an explanation.
I'm not claiming to be an expert specifically in this field.
Well, no, you're coming up with an ad hoc argument. Well, I'm just asking questions, and you're coming up with an ad hoc answer rather than saying, well, yeah, that's interesting, I better have a look at that. I have an option for you to say, I don't know, that's uninteresting, I'll have a look. But no,
I'm providing possible ideas for what may happen. However,
out of the air.
From the little I know on this subject. However, I will look this up. I'm going to look this up and check on this. But as far as I know, there is nothing that suggests that there is anything other than natural processes that maintain our atmosphere.
Well, I'll just say that I was in a debate with some PhD students on this very subject, and literally they had no answer. To that point, they had no answer. So you saying that, oh, I've got the answer of
possible answer says that you know more than these PhD students. Right, so literally, you can go on and find the flat Earth debate, yeah, from the...
Look at the Mannall,
Yeah, you probably clicked on the Flat Earth Society, didn't you?
No, did you find the flat Earth debate from the Flat Earth conference this year?
No, I did not.
Right, well, there was a debate with me and a couple of others. Darren, a couple of guys debating some PhD
The formula for curvature is 8
and we stumped them at least 4 times, including this question about the atmosphere sticking to a ball.
That's a theory.
So I'm sorry, you know, if you think you know better than them,
I did this.
perhaps you ought to do a PhD paper. Right, well then, that was a good answer. That was a good answer. Rather than saying, I know it's this, which is what you just did, you could say, I don't know, that's interesting, maybe I should look into that. And we
However, just because I don't know what the answer is or somehow stump them, does not mean there is any other explanation other than one that can be provided by science.
Which is what?
Science isn't providing any answers.
Science isn't providing any answers.
They're sticking to their...
They've even given us a working
Wide range of things we don't know in various areas.
They teach us fact though, don't they? They teach us fact. In the school books, it's a fact that the Earth is round. It's a
That
fact
has been proven.
No, it hasn't.
school books. So when you
There are
say
some things that have not been proven, but there are many things that have been proven, and the round Earth is definitely.
Okay, well, no, it isn't because, as I said, I didn't say this, but the very first proof that the Earth is round, is the idea that ships, as you watch them go out to sea, they start to disappear half Earth, and then the mast goes down. That was standard proof for 500 years.
Imagine also the six in the ground.
Well, I mean, this is the silk. Neil deGrasse Tyson just did a little animation showing this is what's going on, Okay, so it's still in effect. Now you can go and get one of these, and you can watch a ship apparently go over the curve, right? Then flip this camera out, zoom in, and there it is, back in view. The whole and complete. Wait. Okay, at that level of zoom, you can see videos of this. Right, okay. So this is the point, That 500-year-old proof destroyed just in that one moment.
I've seen people film it, and I've seen it work the way it's supposed to.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes, with the naked eye, just looks like
not
it.
with the naked eye, with telescopic lenses.
Well, what's the difference between that and telescopic lenses?
That's 60 times zoom.
The point is,
where's the angle of the flag?
well, let us finish.
Well, I don't want to
So we can go to the zoom level, half zoom level of that camera, and watch it go again over the curve. Zoom in and it will brought back again. We can do it.
Yes, lots of times.
Several times. And
Are you
the
sure?
ship stays.
100%. I've seen it a number of times.
Okay, I haven't. I will look it up.
Next one goes to the big camera.
You get a camera and do it. You do it yourself.
What you are zooming.
You do it yourself.
Yeah, and remember, these were proofs before they had cameras.
You're not changing the
No, but you are changing the vision. The visual. You are changing it.
This is what's telling us, right? This curvature that I'm showing here, right, is what they tell us. The ship goes along and over the curve, If it's over the curve, there's no amount of zoom that should bring that back.
It's already over here, isn't it?
It's over here.
And at some point,
No, but if you go far enough, you won't be able to do what you're
that
saying.
is absolutely.
If you would go far
Just
enough.
get a bigger telescope.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? Nikon is about to...
It's too serious.
Listen, we
we've been told 500 years.
This is relativity. Go and learn relativity and you know that you are what you are saying is rubbish. I have learned I don't say relativity. Einstein's relativity.
I have learned
because you are talking mathematics and this is not correct. You are teaching people that
you can't ignore, you can't bring up relativity. Relativity
well, if it was flat, there must be an end.
Yes.
Its end is where?
The proof
is it in America or is it in Britain? Or is it in France? Where is the end?
The proof that relativity is bullshit
another trouble.
The proof that relativity is bullshit.
Why?
Stop.
Okay, all right.
Is the
Was it like a piss take kind of a... Yeah. It usually is. You know, that's the best way to try and ridicule us is to... So this is why we thought, instead of just being on the internet, let's get out here into the public, show people...
Schools show that the earth is round, so how would you change that?
The whole curriculum has to go, as far as I'm concerned. Curriculum, do you know who gave us our curriculum? Look into this, look into who made our curriculum. Do you think that those rich people, like politicians and all that, do you think that their children are being taught the same stuff that we have all been taught? Or do you think they're taught other stuff, like economics, politics, how
That's what you should be taught, right? Because when are you ever going to need Spanish in your life unless you like go to Spain? You probably need to know how to tax or something.
I'll give you that one, but Spanish being a very big...
I don't mean Spanish in particular,
just, I mean just in general, like, or religious education. Where did that take us?
But it doesn't do anything. Like,
we should have lessons on...
It's not as important
economics, politics, police brutality, how to look for a job. We don't even know that. You know, by the time you leave school, you're going to be pushed out in the world. I'm telling you right now, you ain't going to have much to go on. You're just going to be like looking at other people like, what do I do? I was pushed out of school without having a proper education, without proper knowing about the world, and I was expected to get along. I just repeat what other people said. Just as you guys said gravity earlier on, you repeat it. If you look into it, you do your own investigations, you find out you've been lied to.
How do things fall?
Okay, things fall to the air. For example, if I ask you, what is heavier? This little leaf or the air around us? What is heavier? What weighs more? So therefore, what's going to fall on the floor? Because it's heavier. If this was lighter, like a helium balloon, yeah? Do you see what I'm saying? It's lighter than air. It's less dense, and so it goes up. Have you ever heard the saying, whatever goes up must come down? This is natural observations. You don't see one single thing that goes up. And
so you're saying Isaac Newton was wrong?
I have. I'm not saying that. I am agreeing with a physicist who has a PhD. A couple of months ago we had a conference, and we had a debate. We wiped the floor with these guys. And he himself, one of the physicists himself, said Newton was wrong. Newton was demonstrably wrong. And I will quote him for the rest of my life. Remember that. Did you know Sir Isaac Newton and Einstein, their theories on gravity clash, don't they?
I'm pretty sure Einstein was... Well, I've led to believe Einstein was right, but I've never actually looked into it. That's just because I've been told that Einstein was right.
Again, we just repeat it. We're told something and we repeat it. That's how the game goes.
Until a young age, you believe things like... So if someone makes you believe something at a young age, you're going to believe it in 10 years' time.
Until you actually challenge your reality, look into it objectively, don't take sides, just say, look, I want the truth, and I'm going to look for it. Start looking into it. This is how I tried to prove that wrong. I was like, I rolled up my sleeves and I was like, right, I'm going to prove these idiots wrong in one night. Here I am 3 years later. It's impossible.
That was the same with me as well. 3 years ago.
It's impossible.
What I don't understand is if it was flat, then how can you not fall off it?
You know what I don't understand? How can you live on a ball, yeah, and you're not flying off it because the world is spinning, and you're going to say gravity, but what is gravity? It's a theory. The only reason it was designed, it was made up, is to explain how liquids can stick to a ball while spinning around, while people in Australia who are apparently upside down are flinging off the ball earth. It was just a convenient excuse. Anything that cannot be answered, gravity. Anything that you cannot answer, gravity.
Yeah. Why do we feel ourselves moving? Because it's all relative. Without these theories, the globe model itself itself collapses. Yeah, you know what I mean? Water doesn't conform to a spinning ball. It's impossible.
How about we play a little game and we turn it on its head? Let's pretend that we went to school and we were taught the truth. The Earth is the flat, motionless center of the universe. Yeah? Things fall down because they're heavier. Things go up because they're lighter than air. Simple. We were taught that. But then me and my guy come along, me and Dave come along, we're like, nah. We live on a ball, mate. We're spinning around, but you don't feel it. Do you see what I'm saying?
If we were taught that the Earth is flat, we'd be laughing at people making the round jokes.
No, you'd be saying it's crazy because they're telling you that you're rotating at 1,038 miles an hour at the equator. The Earth is travelling around the Sun at 67,000 miles an hour. The Sun is travelling around the Milky Way at 500,000 miles an hour, and the Milky Way is blasting off towards the Northern Constellation at 1.2 million miles an hour. But guess what? You can't feel it because it's all relative. If I told you that when we taught you that you'd live on a flat motionless plane, you'd call me an idiot.
How do seasons occur then?
The funny thing is, I never understood how seasons worked on the ball Earth. Did you know that they tell us that when the sun is furthest away,
it's summer. No, it's summer.
It's our summer.
It's summertime, mate. No,
when
you look into it, it's summertime, mate.
It's our winter. Don't believe us? Look at this for yourself. This is what they tell children.
This is the current heliocentric model.
If something is hot and it comes close, you're going to get hot. If it's further away, so that doesn't make sense. But when you look at a flat Earth, do you believe in any other planets round?
No, what they tell you is it's the angle, the 23.4 degrees, what causes that light. But in that case, you'd have even temperatures at the poles, because if they're not saying it's the distance, then it's got to be the angle. But what you find is the South Pole has a lot colder temperatures than the North Pole, so it can't be that angle, can it? Yes.
That's stupid. That's like saying I'm going into a forest. There's trees. I'm a tree. That doesn't, the snooker. The snooker balls are round. The table has to be. No, that's illogical. Just because one thing doesn't mean the other thing has to be exactly the same. Do you see what I'm saying? That?
Yeah. I get it. Yeah, but I was going to say something.
Did I give you leaflets by any chance? Because you seem like you've got a lot of questions, and I don't mind answering them. But later on, this is going to pick your brain, and you're going to start asking questions. I'm not going to be there. You're going to have questions that you're going to want to look into. Have I given you a leaflet? Check out 200 Proofs. It's a good one to start off with.
Also, check out ODD Reality, 21 questions. You know all them questions in your head. Where's the edge? How do seasons work? He answers them questions.
Do you, in your mind, do you know that one day, a majority of people will believe that the Earth is flat?
Well, it's a growing number. The ITV poll, what finished early on this year, after a few of our friends went on ITV this morning, they did a poll asking the people if they believe the Earth is flat, and it actually finished at 13%. Yeah. Now, if they'd have done that 3 years ago, I bet it would have been about 2%. It's a growing number. There was 40 videos about 5 years ago. There's now over 100 million videos out there. You don't see them because the YouTube algorithm and the Google algorithms, who are all the same company, hide them pretty well. You Google Flat Earth, you get the Flat Earth Society and a few news articles ridiculing Flat Earth. Yeah, the Flat Earth is a psyop, is to ridicule Flat Earth, because they're telling you we live on a disc in outer space, and that disc is shooting up at 9.8 meters per second to compensate for gravity, which we know is a load of rubbish. It's stationary. It's still. There is no motion.
Whatever you do, stay away from the Flat Earth Society. They are bad. Have you ever heard of that name? Do you know why you heard of that name? Because you were supposed to. Because people like Obama, John Kerry, what's that other idiot? Clinton, all these people have been told to say that.
We don't have time.
So then you run around and jump on, Flat Earth Society, what have they got to say? And then you hear stupidness. Like the Flat Earth is like a pizza, and it goes up in space, then it goes down in space. That's how you get night and day. Not a single one of us here subscribe to that because it's bollocks. It was designed to make you think that's stupid, these guys are crazy. And then continue. If you do your own research and you think for yourselves, because you're now young men, you're not children, think as a young man and you'll come to realise there's so much proof.
You know when you look at an airplane, 5 miles up, 10 miles up, it's a dot.
Yeah.
It's space.
That's at 40,000 feet, yeah? The ISS is supposed to be 250 miles up, twice the size of a jumbo jet, but you can see that light in the sky. How's that possible?
It's impossible.
Go on to Google Maps or Google Earth, find an airport, find an airplane and pull back 10 miles. Guess what? You can't see the plane. So how can we see that another 240 miles further?
Satellite. They can see the satellite.
No, they can.
Too far away. You're saying.
No, you can see the International Space Station. Yeah, he's traveling at 17,500 miles an hour at 250 miles
They just
distance.
see a little light.
Yes, but how can you see that light from that distance when you can only see a little?
Isn't it reflecting the sun? Like because it's so
No,
bright.
because it's on the it's on the dark side of the Earth and it's too close to the Earth to see the sun.
Impossible.
Think about it.
Impossible.
Yeah. It needs to be further away to see the sun, but it's literally that far off the Earth. Yeah, and it's on the dark side. How does it shine? Think about it.
The curvature of lighthouse is what shine 30 miles.
Do you understand what I'm saying about the ISS being close to the Earth on the dark side and it's being lit up by the sun when it's too close to the globe? What's the sun doing looking straight through the globe? Yeah, it's on the night side. The sun's shining on the opposite side. How does it light up when it's too close to the Earth? Think about it. If I've got an object there on you, can I see that object from the light behind? No, you can't. Think about it. You know what I mean? Dark side, light side. The object's a millimetre off my back. Can you see it?
It has like a really strong light for some reason. It could be
Yes.
that it reflects.
Don't get me wrong, there is a light up there. That light just looks like Venus or Jupiter. It doesn't look like a space station. I've got it on my phone. I filmed it 2 nights ago. It just looks like a white blob.
Why don't they all have a mobile phone on them and phone us and we can track them with GPS?
The ISS takes 6 minutes to get from horizon to horizon. It's fast. You have to be like grease lining to catch it with that camera. You know what I mean? You're literally like boom. Because you know when you've got an object close up, it's like that.
Yeah, sure.
But it's so difficult to get a fix on it.
That ISS is supposed to have been up there years. They've never took footage of the Earth with activity on it. They've never ever zoomed in and took footage. All the money they have, they've never took one picture with activity on it.
Well, for one thing, because I don't know, maybe there's like that higher plane that takes the pictures. I don't really know. I didn't research on how they take the pictures. But if they already can do it with a plane, wouldn't it be easier for them to just only monitor the sky? Because it's more important. Because it's like, what if there's a meteor?
Why don't they clear these things up? Why don't they clear these things up easy, which they can do? Or if there's 4 people on the ISS, they all phone to Earth and we can track where they are with GPS. It's solved then, it's true. Come on, do it.
What I'll do when I get this footage, I'll do a graph at home and I'll show you the ISS a millimetre off a ball, yeah, on the dark side and the sun shining through, and ask how somebody on a globe can see a light in the sky when it's like.
I'm not sure how exactly it looks like, what shape it is, but it could be that it's sort of reflecting the light from the moon somehow. That's in just a bit of it, not all of it, obviously not
It's
the bottom.
bright. It's the brightest object in the sky when it comes over.
Yeah, sure, it's really bright. I've seen that as well. But
I see it twice 2 nights ago.
Do you agree with this? If you've got like on the equator, you're looking at the stars. So looking at the stars, spinning, going round, spinning round us. If you look at them where it's half that, which is 400 miles an hour or 500 miles an hour, and then 250.
What they tell you that the Earth spins at 1,038 miles an hour at the equator, but nearly 0 at the poles. So why do you get the same star trails when you shoot it in the north and you do when you shoot on the equator?
It's impossible.
You shouldn't have a star trail on the North Pole. You should just have a still sky.
Yeah, well, it goes around.
Yes, but remember the Earth turns at 0 at the poles. This is according to their model.
Yeah, well, it's still turning like that.
if you're only like
Yeah, but you still get the same star trails that you would when you shoot on the equator. We're going to be doing an experiment. Well, we're going to be doing an experiment soon to prove this.
What about this Japanese satellite which takes a picture
of the Earth every hour? Yes, it's a composite image. I've just showed you the composite images, haven't I? It's the same with the Japanese satellite.
It's a cartoon world. It's a cartoon world, not real.
It's a detailed picture. Have I just shown you Mr. Blue Model, Rob Simon himself, who creates the Earth for NASA? Yeah. Did I just show you Rob Simon, who creates the globe? You know the globe you see on your iPhone and all that?
But it doesn't matter. Okay, that one person makes those sort of pictures to look.
He makes them all for NASA.
To make more beautiful, so that, you know, the people would be like, oh wow, it doesn't only look.
It says he takes a flat map and he basically wraps it around a ball. Read it. He's actually been quoted in saying that on the NASA.gov website. It is photoshopped because it has to be. That's his own words.
The Japanese satellite that takes a picture of
yeah, and that globe looks completely different to Mr. Blue Marble's.
Yeah, well, it's a different camera.
What? It's just if I take a picture with my camera now, then she takes a picture of you, you're going to look like the same. Come on.
It depends on what.
Well, I'll get my Nexus P6, P9 out here and take a picture.
It depends on the filter that you use. It depends on how you want to. Like
the Japanese one, I mean, the image is really detailed, and it's like coming in every hour or something.
It's a composite image, pal.
What does that mean?
A composite image is basically an image what things stitched together. It's not.
Like they get a new image.
Not real.
It's loads of new images stuck together then. Where do they get all of those pictures from?
Look for the Japanese satellite Hand of God, because he actually left a handprint on one of them.
They left a what?
They left a handprint on one of them. On one of their images of Earth, they left a handprint on it. Come to prove it. You know the Photoshop hand. You know the Photoshop hand. Yeah. They left a hand on it. You know the hand on Photoshop? On one of their images, they left a hand on it.
Well, I mean, of course, every time they get a picture, they're going to make it look more pretty. It's like,
you know, on the space station, they found bubbles in underwater.
Yeah.
They found bubbles.
Just Google NASA ISS hoax. You get thousands of hours of footage.
You can find like photoshopped images of the Earth, because when they take, you know, they don't take a picture of the entire Earth. They take like 10 pictures, stick it together, and then where it doesn't quite fit, they have to use Photoshop. Otherwise, it's just be a blank space.
If they're zooming on the Earth, they don't need to do that. If they're zooming on the Earth, it's clear. You turn you up around, or the ISS, zooming, they won't do it. Right? Can you
but
just
how could they see, like, what, anyway, I don't really understand what exactly.
I just want to show you something. You know the titles, yeah?
That was supposedly taken on Mount Everest, one where you see the curvature.
That's called a GoPro lens, called a fisheye lens, which is called barrel lens distortion. What that does, basically, if you dip the camera down, you'll get a concave image, and if you tilt it up, you'll get a convex image. Yeah, it's just called barrel lens distortion.
When you see on the balloons, like they're moving like that, yeah, you see it move from a convex Earth to a concave one, and when it's literally level with the horizon, it's flat. So yeah, that's the only reason. There's other people taking pictures from Mount Everest with a normal camera, and it's flat. Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on it then?
I think there's enough to question it. I don't think there's enough to say it's round. And I think I was raised believing that it's round and given lots of reasons that I accept as being rational. And then when I look at it, I stop and think, okay, how have I accepted this? How has it been rational? How have you told me that we're standing on a wall and I believe it when I've never seen anything? You cannot rest anything on a ball. No matter how small the object is, it does not work. But then you start spinning that ball and we're still on it. Yet if I say it's flat and I'm living on it, everyone looks as if you're saying something crazy. But that makes more rational sense than to say it's a ball. But I can't say for definite it's flat, and I can't say for definite it's not a ball.
What I can say for definite is that there's no measurable curvature over large bodies of water. There's numerous people doing tests. There's people shooting across Lake Ontario from the US to Canada. There's people shooting across Lake Michigan to the Chicago skyline. You could even go to Skegness and shoot across a Cromer at 40 miles away, which should be visible. And if you go to Cromer and look across at Skegness and you look at the offshore wind farms, they should be visible. But you can see them from that distance. It should be below 900 feet of hidden curvature. So to me, I don't follow any particular model or map, yeah, because they just don't seem to fit. But what I do know is that there's no measurable curvature over large bodies of
I've got a
water.
couple questions. Based on what they say, the model is right now to glow. There's water. It ties into a lot more stuff. For instance, gravity, which they've got a lot of maps to say this is here and it's real and we need it. Your belief in the flat Earth, do we actually need gravity, or do you think more it's electromagnetism, or is there no need for it because it's flat anyway so you could stay on?
I think the reason why objects fall through the air is because they're more denser than the atmosphere around it. When you get a helium balloon and you let it go, what happens? It goes up. Yeah, because it's lighter than the air around it. Yeah? If you imagine a puddle on the floor, they're telling us that that force of gravity is holding that puddle, that little puddle with no mass, to the centre of mass. Yet you look above you and there's trillions and trillions of gallons of water not being dragged to centre of mass. Yeah? To me, it's just buoyancy and density. There's no, that force of gravity was only created for one reason, to keep water sticking to a spinning ball. Without that force and without that magical force, it doesn't fit and it doesn't work.
What would you say the need for this model was? Like, why did they decide?
Don't worry, it won't bite.
Why did they decide it's...
Because on that model, you need to start with a big bang. Because when you start with a big bang, you immediately start, and we're betrayed as a mistake. Yeah, we've come from nothing. Yeah, we're a mistake, a godless mistake. And it was a Catholic priest who invented the Big Bang Theory. You know what I mean? A Catholic priest saying we come from a godless beginning.
Who's this?
I can't remember his name. I can find his name quick.
So you're not referring... Oh, right.
I've got him on Facebook actually. Yeah, basically, he's created the Big Bang Theory, and he's quite high in the Catholic Church. Now, you wouldn't think a man of God would create a theory what supports a godless. You know what I mean? I'm not saying there's a man up there in a white cape or a white coat or anything. I'm saying, but if it's a matter of choice of being a mistake or being created, I think I'd rather go for the creation side of it.
Are you from the BBC?
No.
Okay, got another question. The evolution, the Big Bang Theory, the world being the globe, all ties in. Their maps, everything kind of aligns with all of what they've got to say. Coincidence or...?
Purposely. Yeah, it's a control system. Yeah, they bring in the Big Bang, you're a mistake, you're worthless. Then they put you in the vastness of outer space. They tell you you're a little speck of sand in this universe, you're worthless. You know what I mean? That, as a species, makes you feel inferior. You know what I mean? As a species. Now, if they told you you're at the centre of the universe and you're important and you were created, it puts a different light on it, doesn't it? That's how I look at it.
I've got to go.
Okay.
It was lovely speaking to you guys.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me, I've just arrived by airplane,
Well, it's interesting because I know you say that. How do you think around the
Show me evidence of a globe! Show me evidence of a globe!
I think we're quite happy to put you in a rocket and send you up there.
This one here is mocking me. Show me evidence
I think
of a
we're all
globe.
mocking you.
Show me evidence of a globe. Show me the evidence.
I'll tell you what the evidence of a globe is.
No, magnetic North Pole. Magnetic North Pole.
So we'll keep people at the bottom.
It's a shame that we live in a day and age where people are trying to tell you
The evidence of a globe is very simple. Shall I tell you what the evidence of a globe is? You can start with a rocket, which takes a photograph every 5 seconds. And as it leaves, We've seen. Do you accept that we have seen footage? Do you accept?
Why should we believe you? Please look, don't believe me. Look for yourself. In fact, I beg you, don't believe me.
Are you working for Sacha Baron Cohen as some kind of wind-up?
No, my darling, I'm not.
The higher you go, the more
I'm not.
Are you Sacha Baron Cohen?
No, my darling. No, I'm afraid I'm going to.
So where did you get this idea? When did you learn about the powers?
Myself, and as I pretend to be true.
Hold on. So if I take a map and I flip it upside down, does that mean
you know what?
The plane I'm looking at is upside down? Or am I just looking at it in an upside down perspective?
For two, you're fucking contrived.
Now you're swearing.
What about if you was looking at it from the moon?
And you mocked my accent a few moments ago, and I'm not your friend. No, he said, have you been smoking?
No, you know what?
He asked you a question.
On that note, you've had your little freak show, alright, mocking me. You don't want to hear what I'm saying. You're going to be rude. I don't just have a leaflet. Fucking read the leaflet. Read it. You ignoramus. Read it.
But you're being rude.
I've taken the time to get myself here to show you what I've come across. Show me proof of curvature. Show me proof of curvature.
Why should we believe you? You just have an opinion.
I'm walking the path of truth.
How can you see the Chicago skyline
I don't live in a
from 50 miles away across Lake Michigan when it should be buried behind 1,600 feet of curvature? How do you know that?
I do have evidence.
How is it visible?
Here it is. I am.
So can we accept you don't know anything? You're just making hand out. So.
Are you going to let me talk?
Why doesn't your leaflet
The man in the blue shirt said I've got no evidence, and he won't let me tell him what the evidence is. He's talking.
Okay, let's go through your evidence one by one. You make your point, and you make your point.
There's no measurable curvature over large bodies of water. How's that for one?
Me from Snappy Snaps in Richmond.
I agree with you.
I done them. If I paid for them, I can hand them out to two. He's telling me to stop handing out my leaflets. He won't let me explain.
Well, you actually are breaking the law, but don't let that worry you. Yes, you are. You go into the Royal Parks regulations. It quite clearly says. No, it's on the notice board. It actually says. You need the permission of the owner for the park.
If anyone wants to listen to me, by all means,
I want to listen to you.
I'm getting shelled by these two. My proof is the Pythagorean theorem.
Yes.
The curvature of the earth is here, my friend.
Right.
Yeah? If this is true, then this can't be real, and it is because we took the pictures ourselves. By all means, go to these locations. By all means, take the pictures yourself. By all means, see how it's lies. Don't believe me. Look for yourself. I don't mean to. Did I say someone?
What do you mean? You can't just explain anything.
Someone else.
So wait. Have you ever travelled on an airplane? How far have you travelled on an airplane? What's the furthest you've been?
I've been to Virgin Islands.
What? Maybe Virgin Islands. You've been to Necker Island. You've been to Necker Island. So you could pay for a Richard Branson holiday.
When I was a younger one, yes.
I see you've got rich parents.
Virgin Islands.
Yeah, well, you went to Necker Island. That's
What
Branson.
difference does money make?
Well, it tells us something about your state of mind and how well educated you are. And if your parents have been taking you to Richard Branson's idea of a holiday.
Do you have a point? Apart from ridicule, do you have a point? I've given proof, you don't want to hear it.
No, you haven't given
I have. I've given my proof, not anyone else's
But it
proof.
needs to be questioned.
My proof.
We need to
My proof.
We need to
Roxanne's
question it.
proof.
We need
Not
to
yours,
question
not yours, not second-hand fucking
We need
information.
to question
My
it.
own information.
Why would the government want to cover up the fact that the earth is flat?
They make money. They make money.
They're part of everything.
But what's the point in them doing it? Is North Korea part of the IMF?
Giving you the thumbs up.
How are they making money? North Korea in the IMF?
Being flat. What proof? What
How are they
proof?
making money out of
No
it?
one's making money out of
So
the
why
Earth
would
being
they want to
flat.
lie about
They're
it?
making money out of lying to the civilians. We're the foundation that makes the pyramid system.
Why would they want to
We're their
lie?
workers.
Why would they want to lie about the Earth being flat? Couldn't they just tell the truth and everyone would
It's
be...
a control system. You want to tell you come from a Big Bang mistake. That's why.
But she has no proof. She can't
Great.
ignorance. She's been smoking too much, bro. That's all it is.
Well, I don't smoke and I won't drink yet. But you tell me see why there's no measurable curvature and why we're seeing the Chicago skyline from 50 miles away?
There is measurable
Where?
If you fly on an aeroplane,
Yes.
indeed on Concorde when it used to be able to
Does it have to dip its nose to follow the curvature of the Earth? No, it doesn't. It flies over a level plane.
You can see the curvature of the Atlantic.
You look straight. I could see all the way to Africa.
How can you? What about the natural law of perspective? Yeah, everything has a vanishing point. Yeah. If I take my shoe off, put it at the end of the park, can you see it? No, you can't. Why? Because it's gone past your vanishing point. Exactly the same as everything what you see in a distance.
Then why is there a horizon?
The horizon is just a line where the land meets the sky. The horizon, the horizontal eye zone. Yeah, go to 180,000 feet. Guess what? The horizon's still there at eye level.
Curvature, and I look in perspective straight. The horizon is where I can't see the land curve anymore.
Yeah, but why can you see objects at distances of like 55 miles away when it should be buried beneath 1,600 feet of curvature?
It depends on how tall you are. If you are 3 kilometers high, you can.
I'm talking about on the beach, 6 foot high.
They've done lighthouse tests, miles on ice. And there's a curvature gauge. That's agreed by everyone. The gauge. And they've measured it on ice, on still water for miles, and there's no curvature.
And what you'll notice, if you look at skaters on a flat ice, from a distance, you can't see the ice skates. You can just see the shins. Yeah, because they've converged. Yeah, it's gone past the vanishing point. And because you're on the ground level, yeah, things will converge. Boats will look like they're going over the actual curvature of the Earth, but really they're just converging past your vanishing point. You get a camera like that, yeah, when it's out of sight and it's gone over the curvature of the Earth, zoom it back in, guess what? It's still there. It hasn't gone over no curvature of the Earth.
What's on the other side?
If the Earth was round, if the Earth is round,
oh, you don't know.
And I took a plane
so with all
north,
all
I know is that we
I
don't
flew
live
like
on a ball.
upside down. You couldn't do
We
that.
don't live on a ball, mate. We don't live on a
Well, you imagine having a camera fixed on the moon and watching that. Would the plane be flying upside down in Australia?
Yeah, because
it's gravity.
You're making a random
You're
claim.
one.
Gravity is a theory. It's not a proven fact. Yeah, it's a theory to support the globe. Without that theory, water can't stick to a spinning ball.
How do you explain that? Please answer him. If I take a ball and I drop the ball,
it's heavier than the air around it. It's denser and it will fall to the ground. What happens if I get a helium balloon and let it go? It goes up.
Right.
It is, but not like you think it is.
So where does the sun go? It goes inside the Earth and comes out the other side?
No, the sky is always above us.
Yes, okay, hang on. The sky is always above us.
Yes, so the luminaries are in the sky. I don't believe that the sun is a ball of fire.
No.
No, I believe it's more of an electrical
We don't care
thing.
what you think of the sun is. Explain how it goes around the Earth.
I don't know how it goes around the Earth. Yeah, but not like the heliocentric thing.
What is your evidence?
With a telescope,
So you don't
Yes,
know
I
how-
have.
You have?
Yes, of course I have.
Directly on your eye?
Not with my eye, with my solar filter on.
So you can't explain the path of the sun, you can't explain the path of the moon. What evidence, what do you have left to defend the flat Earth?
There's no measurable curvature over large bodies of water. That's all I need.
That's the only thing you know.
Well, that's all you need. If water finds its level in your drink, if it finds a level in its bath, if it finds a level in a lake, if it finds a level in the ocean, where's it curving?
But assuming there is gravity that's holding water
Belief
to Earth.
system again.
Gravity.
Yeah.
Gravity is a theory to support that
It's
globe.
a theory, just like your idea is a theory.
One person's idea, you're preaching
But your
someone's
idea,
idea.
not one
for some
person.
You're
reason,
preaching one person's idea, but you're arguing with hypocritical or
Einstein needs to listen to you.
one guy's opinion.
No, you're in the minority here.
That's what that is.
How do you know there's a core at the centre of the Earth? Yeah, we've only been 8 miles down. How do you know there's a core at the Earth?
Where is it?
How do you know there's a core at the centre of the Earth? I don't know.
you should know.
How can you know?
I'll tell you how we know.
How should you not believe this? How many people are there that believe this?
It's a growing number. On the ITV poll, it's at 13% for people who actually believe the Earth is flat, and it's growing. 4 years ago,
That's exactly it. You're just here for attention. You're here just to get attention.
thing. Everybody's flat earth. You want to become famous.
I don't want to be famous.
So we blow it up again with a puncher kit.
Yeah, you can try, mate. Yeah.
And that is not a good support for you.
Say again, pal.
How does gravity work on a flat?
There is no gravity, mate. If I drop my camera, gravity is to support.
Can I ask you
I don't know where the edge is.
Can I ask you, sir, as you move your thing up and down, what is controlling the angle at which it works at?
Gyroscopes.
I see, which are run by. What controls the gyroscopes?
Gravity.
Gravity. There's no gravity controlling a gyroscope.
Oh, what is it then?
If a gyroscope keeps a plane level,
What's the force?
how does it keep to 30,000 feet on a ball?
If you let it go down, what will happen?
It's denser than the air around it. It'll fall to the floor and break.
No, it will not. It will go down.
What happens if I get a helium balloon?
No,
and let it go?
prove it.
No.
It will stay there.
No.
Prove it.
No.
Based on by, we used to see people like you in the middle of the circus with a white face and a red hat. You're homework.
Well, that's what we think of you sheeple.
Yeah, but the trouble is we're in the majority and there's an awful lot
Yes,
of
but it's a
evidence.
growing number. 4 years ago, 40 videos. Now there's over 100 million, mate. It's growing. And it's substantial.
How is the powers to be benefiting? How is the powers to be benefiting from lying to us that the Earth is?
Because NASA get $19 billion a year. That's $52 million a year. Yeah, but they're starving children on the streets.
The percentage of the global economy is pretty small.
Yes, but they're starving children on the streets, and we're paying money for cartoons and bad acting.
My friend, if the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles an hour,
You couldn't explain so many things. You shouldn't jump in.
We don't know everything. We don't know everything, and we don't claim to. But what we do know, there's no measurable curvature.
Can you listen 1 minute? If the Earth's spinning 1,000 miles an hour, how can the weatherman say in 5 hours there's going to be gale force winds? It's impossible.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, the weatherman predict there's gale force winds coming.
Why is it that they are lying to us? What's
that
in it
would
for
be
them?
impossible.
Well, firstly,
How are they benefiting
the Big
from
Bang,
telling us,
a Big Bang created by a man of God, wants us to believe that we come from a mistake.
You're not talking about
Well, that's where it all starts, the Big Bang. Yeah?
You're talking about the Earth being flat. How are they benefiting from lying to us?
Okay, you said that the population is growing as people that think it's flat. Has anyone walked to the end? From all these people that believe the Earth is flat,
Can I answer
anyone
that?
walked to
Can
the
I
end?
answer that?
No,
Can
I'm asking.
Yeah.
It's NASA. What's he talking about?
Has anyone walked to the end?
You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to. It's military guarded.
It's £80,000 for a permit to go to Antarctica. You know that? Go and try and go to Antarctica.
It's guarded.
No, it's not guarded. But
It's
you need the
military
permits.
there. There's military there.
Yeah.
To go to the other side of the Earth?
Have you ever heard of the 1961 Antarctic Treaty?
No.
No. Have you ever heard of the 1972 Space Treaty?
I don't need
Nobody's allowed to.
Do you film yourself? Why are you filming us?
Why? Why not?
So we can have a proper conversation.
No, I'm not putting my camera away. Yeah? I'm here for a reason, to record it.
Show your
He will
evidence.
watch himself.
My evidence is that there's no measurable curvature over large bodies of water. If your drink's level,
Just because there is none, so the Earth is flat.
I mean, if you're on a globe, look, how would an aeroplane
Being a man,
go upside down?
being a man of 70, I'm 70. I have heard so much bullshit in my life, but that is the biggest one.
Yeah, but how would the aeroplane go upside down? For me, on a globe, it's impossible. If you went down the equator,
That's a good point.
how would an aeroplane? It's impossible.
Why didn't the airplane go upside down?
It's
Exactly.
impossible.
why
What's that?
in 2018 haven't we got a 4K camera fixed on the moon,
Here we go.
watching the Earth
Here we go.
turn?
Wait a minute. Here.
Coffee is spilled.
Yeah, I answer. Why the plane doesn't go down? This is the globe, yeah? This is the globe. And it has gravity.
There's no gravity.
Shut up, I'm talking.
It has shut up.
There is. It has gravity. It has gravity. Yeah. You see, when you are going, look. Your plane is always over gravity, always. So
if there is
you say why plane doesn't go down? It's all rubbish, childish.
Can I answer?
Childish crap.
Can I answer?
We don't.
It's probably density.
We don't need pseudoscience.
Like, if you got a feather or some whatever.
Do you really think there's a Tesla car floating in outer space?
That's John Mayer. John Mayer knows there is gravity.
Even Elon Musk said himself, it looks so fake.
You don't believe in gravity. Tell me why are you not flying?
Why are you standing?
Because I'm denser than the air around me.
You're looking for attention, that's
All right.
it.
Yeah, no, well, can I just answer this?
They're pulling the whole
An alien balloon
and
is
they will be
lighter
laughing when
than
they
air.
go home. They will be laughing.
Excuse me, what about Google Maps and data? How do you explain it? There's no satellites, how can we have maps?
Satellites. Did you know satellites were invented by Arthur C. Clarke, the science fiction writer?
Yeah, can I just answer
Maps,
that?
GPS.
Can I just answer?
GPS, ground positioning. Yeah. You don't need the towers. Why can't you track planes over the southern hemisphere?
How do you know how Earth looks then? How do you have these pictures of Earth? Satellites are taking pictures of
There is
Earth.
no photograph of Earth. There are composite images.
It's got it right there.
I'll answer that. Do you? Yeah. Do they point to the sky?
Every image from Earth is a composite image. Yeah, and a guy called Rob Simon makes them in Photoshop, and he says they basically get a flat map and wrap it around a ball, and he says it is Photoshop because it has to be.
Okay.
Look up Rob Simon, Mr. Blue Marble. Earth 2.0.
Okay, I have a question. So if the Earth is spherical, then how come the sun is more concentrated around the equator and it's more spread out, and that's why we don't have enough sun?
So how is it concentrated on the equator when it's tilted at 23.4 degrees? Yeah, but it's tilted to 23.4 degrees away from
it. Seasons and crap. So if the Earth is flat, then what happens to seasons and
right? In the heliocentric model, in winter in the UK, we're closer to the sun. How does that work?
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. Look in the heliocentric model. Look at Kepler's first and second law of planetary motion.
But the sun rays aren't very concentrated.
It's true.
So how do you? No. If the Earth was flat, wouldn't the sun's concentration be the same on the whole surface?
No, because it's not 93 million miles away. It's closer, yeah, and just lights up a small portion. You think the sun shines, yeah? It doesn't. It doesn't emit anything. It reacts. It reacts with the noble gases in the air.
If the sun was that close, we'd all die. We'd frizzle.
No, but Xeon is, and Krypton, and Argon. Yes, I'm talking noble gases, not oxygen. That's not a noble gas. You don't even know your noble gases, do you?
I fail to believe you're being serious. I think this is borderline insanity. Like,
do the research, mate. Look for some curvature. Look for photographs from Earth. Look for satellites from Earth. Look for measurable curvature. Guess what? There ain't none.
It's like a kid thing open then. So why are all these countries lying to us? They all have their space agencies.
Because they're all in the same club, pal. That's why.
What club?
They're in the Freemasons club, aren't they? They're all on the same level.
Freemasons? What? There is not one single person coming out and saying.
It's all compartmentalised, mate. Yes, all compartmentalised. That person doesn't know what that person's doing, and that person doesn't know what that.
So you think this is a conspiracy to finance NASA, right?
Not just to finance NASA. It's a control system to control us as a species.
By telling you Earth is round, they are able to finance NASA.
Well, yeah.
Can you get this camera out?
No. If you want to go away.
Right. So we're gonna just have to believe you. Take your word for it.
Well, do your own research. That's what I said.
Oh, you've done your research. Tell us.
Yes, for 3 years, and guess what? I'm still looking for the proof.
I've done research. I'm holding my finger like that.
Well, shift it away from my face, please.
You believe the moon landing was fake, right?
100%. And Bart Sibrel proved that in his film A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon, when it showed you how he was faking the actual Earth in a little window from low Earth orbit. Because nobody's been past low Earth orbit. As you can see, everybody's in heavy debate.
His point is that if life is part of life is suffering.
About 2 minutes ago. Yeah, I'm